everybody. Today we are going to be making hummus. Now hummus has become a super popular snack that you can find anywhere in lots of different varieties with different herbs, using different peppers, even avocados and spinach, all kinds of things. So the way I like to make it is roasted red bell pepper hummus. It's super healthy and really easy to make yourself. So the main ingredients to a hummus are going to be garbanzo beans, also known as chickpeas, which are really healthy. They're a great source of protein, fiber, iron, and the great thing about them is they have a little bit of vitamin C in them also, which helps in the absorption of plant-based iron. So they're a real healthy food. You'll also need tahini, which is just pure sesame seed paste. Don't think that there's something wrong with it when you buy it. When you open it, because it's all natural, it doesn't have any emulsifiers in it, so it will have separated and settled by the time you get it home and open it. You'll have to really stir it up and mix it. That'll be the hardest part to all of this. So tahini, garlic, and lemon juice. A lot of recipes will also have olive oil, but I don't add that to mine. So what we're gonna start with is roasting our red bell pepper. You can do it directly over your gas stove, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you don't have a gas stove, you can also do it under your broiler. You just want to do all sides till it's really black and charred. And if you don't want to do that, last resort would be to just buy a jar of roasted red bell peppers, rinse them, and probably use about a half of a cup. So we're going to go over to the stove, roast our pepper. When it's done roasting, we're going to put it in a Ziploc bag, seal it, leave it for about 5 minutes to let it steam and cool a little bit so that the skin will come right off. And then we're going to come back here. We've got all of our ingredients ready to go, and then we're just going to assemble it all at that time. Okay, so we've got our roasted red bell pepper steaming and cooling in our bag. One thing to remember, if you're using metal tongs on the stove, they get really hot. So be careful when you're putting your pepper in your plastic bag not to touch the inside of the bag with it, or you're gonna burn a hole right through your bag. So just be careful with that, drop it in. So we'll let that sit for a minute while we get the rest of our ingredients in our food processor. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you really can make this in a blender. If it's a little bit thick, you're just going to add a little bit extra water as needed. So don't worry if you don't have a food processor. So we're going to add one 15-ounce can of our garbanzo beans, 1/3 cup of tahini, our sesame seed paste, 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and in here I've got 6 rings of jarred pickled jalapenos and a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Then I've got 2 cloves of chopped garlic, 1 chipotle pepper in adobo sauce, just to make sure that the stem is removed. Now this is where your spiciness is really going to come in. So if you like it really spicy, you can use a medium-sized pepper, but small pepper seems to be just right for me. And this is 1 tablespoon of honey. I didn't always put this in before, but when I tried it one time, I realized it really makes a difference and it tastes great. Adds just that little bit of sweetness to it. Okay, so we've got all of that in our food processor. We're going to prepare our pepper now and add that to it. So I'm going to take it out of the bag. It's cool enough to handle now. And what you want to do is just use napkins or paper towels and wipe off the charred skin. And you see, it comes right off. So it's not necessary to get every single bit of charred black skin off, because actually that adds a little bit of flavor. It's a roasted red bell pepper. Now I'm going to cut it just like I would a regular pepper. I'm going to kind of hold on to the top. We want to get rid of the membranes and the seeds, so I'm going to just cut down around them. Just like that, and then you'll just throw away the membrane and the stem. And just, if there's a few seeds in here, just wipe them off. You don't want to rinse it if you can help it because you'll lose some of that really good char flavor. And I'm just going to roughly chop it. Since we're going to be putting it in the food processor, it'll do the rest of the work for us. Okay, now we're just going to blend this until it's smooth. It doesn't take very long at all. It's almost ready, but now I'm going to add my salt and pepper. About a half a teaspoon of salt and about a quarter teaspoon of pepper. Wipe down the sides a little bit and give it one more pulse. So I've been blending it for about a minute and it looks perfect. Now hummus is always better a day or two later because the flavors have had time to marry. So I always try to make this the day before if I'm going to be using it as a dip with company. It keeps really well in the fridge for at least a few days. See how nice and smooth and creamy it is? It smells really good. You can really smell the roasted red bell pepper. It smells spicy with the chipotle pepper. This is also really good. It's good as a dip with chips, but it's also really good as a sandwich spread, or if you're making roll-up sandwiches, it's really great on that. Really flavorful and really healthy. So there you go, creamy roasted red bell pepper hummus. I hope you'll give it a try. Don't worry about remembering all of the measurements. You can go to the website, noboneslife.com, to download the recipe. And I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.